it's been an amazing show so far. Very energetic performance there. And now we have our final conversation for the day right about now. And of course, we have content creator, writer, director, and TV producer Ifeanyi Chidi joining us right now. Welcome to Wake Up Nigeria.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, now, first of all, you're a content creator, you're a
Yes.
writer, you're a director, you're a producer.
Yes.
First of all, how did you find that creative part of you?
Well, so I've always liked writing, and I think the first time I got pulled into this universe was when I saw Amaka Igwe's Checkmate as a child. I was like, oh yeah, I want to do this. Give me the opportunity, anything, I would do it.
Yeah.
But I was quite a nerdy kid, so I thought that brilliant people went to science class. So I also
So you went
I went to science class.
I think all of us had a notion.
Yes,
growing
that
up.
brilliant people in science
Yes.
class. So I ended up studying mathematics and statistics and thinking, yes, what am I going to do with this? I ended up working in a stockbroking firm. And then one chance meeting with someone who was writing at the time on Tinsel. And I was like, oh, so this is actually something viable that I can do.
Yeah.
And I got introduced into that world, and 8 years after, here I am.
Oh, wow. So now what has that journey been like so far? First of all, I must actually talk about the dedication of a writer. Is like none other, to be very honest, because I have a thing for writing. When I write, I enjoy it. So to be honest, I feel it's a way of expression. However, that dedication to sit still, just sit still, and actually put that thing in your head on paper, it literally takes forever. So how have you managed to harness that over the years, considering the fact, considering where you started from?
So it's discipline, right? It takes a lot of discipline. I remember the first time I was thrown into the deep water. It was a 260 episode series. So you can't say, oh my God, I'm tired, I just want to relax. No, it's 260 episodes. It's constantly on TV, Monday to Friday, week after week.
You don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice. And you don't have a life. You have to pour yourself into these characters, pour yourself into the story, and make sure that people are entertained from episode 1 to episode 260.
Wow.
And so far, I've done about 5 or 6 260 episode shows. Yes.
Oh, wow. Like, I don't envy you,
Three
to be
of
very honest.
3 of which I was head writer, so had to be in charge.
Yes.
So.
Okay, so now how, in situations like that, how do you deal with the writer's block? In that kind of situation, is there anything like writer's block?
You
or is that
are
a
not
myth?
allowed to block. Better
You're
unblock yourself.
You're not allowed to block.
You're not allowed to unblock yourself. So there
Okay.
are days where you're just tired and fatigue really hits you. So you can escape a little bit and take some time off, but you know that you always have to come back to your desk because the story, sometimes they're shooting as you're writing. So they need something to shoot. So you have to just keep writing. And thankfully, we do workshops. So those workshops create stories for a particular period of time. So the story is always there.
It's there.
You're just the one who's tired.
Oh, wow. Okay, amazing. So now, where do you draw inspiration from? Because it's not easy to literally just sit down and be conjuring things and stories and people's lives and situations. So what inspires you? What's that thing that you say, you know what, if I do this, I know I'm going to be good for the next phase?
I think I'm blessed with a very active imagination. So I can sit down here and just be thinking up scenarios about, okay, so what happens if, well, if you're a typical Nigerian, you would say, God forbid.
Yeah.
But what happens if we're here and in the TV station now, and we're in the middle of this conversation and we're attacked, right? And we're all trapped in the station and we can't leave. So these are just these weird ideas that come into my head at the time. And I think it's a talent. I think I'm just blessed with that. Okay. So where do I draw inspiration from? It can be from books. It can be from I'm reading a comic. It can be from watching a television series. It can be from anywhere. I can just be sitting
from life, like
from life, from everyday. So the last TV show I worked on, it was Everyday Experiences, Crime and Justice. Okay. It was we actually looked at crime stories from newspapers, and some of those crime stories. With a little flair of added imagination, we're able to come up with stories that were engaging. So, inspiration comes from everywhere.
Comes from everywhere. Amazing. So now, since you spoke about crime and justice, now tell me a little bit about your history in the productive space right here in Nigeria. Tell me about things you've worked on from as writer, then of course we'll produce into director and production as well.
So writing, it's a long story. Okay, so but on Africa Magic, I was story editor on Hush. After Hush, there was Jimeji, where I was also story editor. After Jimeji, there was Ajoche. I came up with the original idea that ended up becoming Ajoche.
Okay.
After Ajoche, I think there was Unbroken. Unbroken, I was head writer on that. Then after Unbroken was Riona. I came up with the original idea, so I created the show Riona. I was also head writer on Riona. And all these, I'm on the 5th one, and they're all 260 episodes.
250
Yes, so after Riona, Dilemma, I came up with the original idea for Dilemma, also 260 episodes. I was also head writer.
Okay.
In between that, I was director on Man of Her Dreams. It's a YouTube series on Bukafed gigs.
Okay.
I also have produced One Chance on Ndani TV.
Okay.
Also wrote for Love Like This, also on Ndani TV. Also wrote on Our Best Friend's Wedding, season 2.
Sister, you're going on
TNC.
Yeah.
Then I'm also writing on Covenant, which is right now on television, on Africa Magic, another 260 episodes.
Yeah.
I'm also, how long do you have?
Keep it going, yes.
I created the show, Showmax's first Nigerian original television limited series, DJ. I created that. And then Crime and Justice, which is also on Showmax.
Wow, amazing. So now I have so many questions from all these things you've listed. Now let me start with this, right? So I went to production school sometime last year, right? And I know one issue that we struggled with our writer as a producer, from a producer's standpoint, is, I mean, given a story the way it is, and then the story getting a different interpretation by the time the film is over. So how do you deal with situations like that? How does that make you feel? Because I know my writer was literally on my, because I was creative director, she was on my every time. She was like, Winfrey, this is another. So like, how do you deal with situations like that?
Okay, I think TV is a very different space.
Very true.
From
very true.
film.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people like to play with the interpretation of film. You're not allowed to do that on TV.
Yes.
The writer is king on TV.
Okay.
So once the writer says the person comes in, the person is going to come in.
Yes.
If you want to change that person from coming in, you have to call the writer.
Yes.
To say, okay, if I change the person from coming in from this angle, is that going to affect your story down the line? True. So I haven't really had to fight producers and directors on changing stuff. And because I've done this for a long time, there's a lot of trust, especially with people I work with. They're like, oh, once it's coming from Fifi, which is what they call me, once it's coming from Fifi, we can trust it. We are going to do exactly what she says we should do. And I'm kind of like,
okay, so you've not worked with erratic directors.
They're not allowed to be erratic with me.
Okay, they're not allowed. Okay, directors get it.
They're not allowed to be erratic with me.
All right.
Because if you affect the story too much, especially in a 260 episode show, if you do something in episode 90 that affects what we've written in episode 200, we're in a huge mess.
Yes.
So everybody has to strictly adhere to what.
That actually makes a whole lot of sense. So now talk to me about your role as a director. How are you able to say, you know what, I've written this story, now I want to direct it? How do you morph into that director?
Okay, I think one thing that's helped me as a director is writing. So a lot of the time when I write as if I'm going to direct it.
Okay. Which
is helpful for me because I can already see the pictures when I'm writing it. So I can see, especially when we've cast, I see when I'm writing, I see the actor doing the thing. So I know what actions I want that actor to, or the placements I want that actor to be in, or the kind of emotions you want the actor to. So writing has actually helped me in directing a whole lot because I can see the pictures in my head.
I mean, yeah, that actually makes sense because I mean, if you're writing it, you know exactly what you want, and you're in the best position to actually direct the actors or people on screen to deliver that. That's actually amazing. So now, when we talk about the Nigerian movie space, or let's talk about the Nigerian production space generally. So now, what are those things that, if you had the opportunity, you would change, given your experience in the industry for the past 8 years?
This is a trap.
Yeah, no, it's not.
So it's, I feel like the Nigerian movie content space is young. A lot of times I see us comparing ourselves with Hollywood, who has been there forever. A lot of stuff is changing. So a lot of content we're bringing out now, a lot of people are like, oh, Nollywood is improving, Nollywood is improving. There's a lot of stuff coming out that is different from what we've been used to, but also drawing from what we've been used to, because you can't forget your past if you want to change stuff. You remember the OG TV and OG movies? We enjoyed them a lot because story was strong. One of the things that I would like to encourage moving forward is strong stories. Stories that are character-driven, stories that you want to root for the characters. You cry when they're crying. You are happy when they're happy. You want them to succeed or you want them to fail, especially if it's a villain that you absolutely hate. One of the things we've enjoyed on TV is creating characters that people are actually swearing for online. Like you go on Twitter and they're like, yes, I'm waiting for this person to die. God should jam them, you know? Getting that kind of reaction from people who are watching television, it's amazing. So that's something I like to drive going forward when it comes to the content space. Creating stories that people root for, characters people cry with, enjoy, celebrate when they're celebrating, cry when they're crying, or just hate.
Just hate, outrightly. Amazing. Of course, I think that's what really matters. It's very necessary because, I mean, I should watch something that I can connect with on several levels. And that's why I love the fact you're talking about stories. I mean, your stories are mostly originated from here, right?
Yes.
Nigerian, and goes to the roots of it. And, I mean, the details, I mean, very important. So all those things need to actually check out. So now, seeing yourself in the next 10 years, what do you see? Don't give me a blurred up imagination. Tell me.
In the next 10 years.
Yes.
To be a driver in the content space. So not just producing TV, but also producing people who can produce TV.
Okay.
Because
very necessary.
My introduction to TV, there were people ahead of me that I wanted to be like. Right? So I watched the Tunde Aladeses, I watched the Victor Sanchez Agawas, and they had created impact in this television space, and you just wanted to be like them.
Yes.
So not just creating great television and creating great content, but also inspiring people behind me to also create great content. That's the way that this cycle can continue. So in trainings, in teachings, and then also impacting the space with great TV. I will be known for great TV.
You will be known.
I will be known for great TV.
She said it all. I don't think we need anything else on this show. And at that point, we come to an end. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Amazing. I like your energy. I like your drive. And I think very important, impacting the next generation to actually do great stuff. Because, I mean, gone are the days we're hoarding all of that information. Now it's time to disperse and share it so that we actually have more people coming after you that do great stuff. Thank you so much for being here. And on that note, it's been an amazing show right here on the Tuesday edition of Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Winfrey Agbeleshi, and from all of us at the studio, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Bye.